But what a fitting way to finish off the Trans-Tasman series. These two traditional rivals who have given us an absolute treat in this year's series. New Zealand with Sinclair. Here he is, E4 Jones. Footwork gets on the outside. And Fawkes was just caught in a little bit infield. And E4 looking to connect up with him. Again, using that footwork, which Australia have found really struggled. Well, they've struggled to be able to contain throughout the series. As Jardel Bob comes onto the field, ball in two hands. Benbow plays it, Hennessy picks up, has a bit of room to move as they come and make the touch. And Fawkes is there to get it done along with Matt Sinclair.
Really tight compressed defence from there. Touchbacks on that one, of course. We know that Dylan Hennessy is a really strong player when he's coming from his right to left. New Zealand yarding up the field now. Perhaps not quite making the metres that they're wanting.
Kudukanga plays it. There's Puturangi out the back, can't connect up with Davies. Good speed and intention shown from New Zealand early on.
Can see Australia already slowing down the pace. Perhaps a tactic for them, knowing that they're one player down, just to make sure they can get those extra breaths in.
Hennessy looking for support, just throws a Hail Mary out the back, and luckily Mal Kenny was there to take the catch. Edwards, the try-scoring hero from last night, as Pride shows good intent coming out of the interchange box. Moffat tries to take advantage, a nice touch. And back in the midfield from Dana Morgan Puturangi.
He's known as an attacking weapon, but equally he can hold his own defensively as well.
Moving forward, Boy Hippie. He comes in to do some work. Davids from half. Wilson gets him going forward. Felix Hotham out the back as Palau comes in to make contact.
Australia looking really sound on defence. They don't look rattled. They've got a really nice line as they're transitioning through the field. And Jonathan Palau making a really timely and important save there for them.
Wilson feeds it. Davids looks to sweep. And he'll hold his position. Early penalty given to New Zealand. David Baggio on field, in control. It's Felix Hotham jinking, the footwork going. Willison feeds it to Davids, electric on the feet, puts the ball in one hand, almost getting in between Russell and Pride. Davids in the half. Shows good footwork. Oh, he got into the in-goal area. Might have been able to punch through and then look for some support. Gave the early ball, looking to connect up with Willison.
Yeah, Rocky Willison just in two minds there about whether he was going to switch back or whether he was going to hold his line. The indecision probably cost him an opportunity to score there.
Pride off the restart as Russell goes forward and Pride loose ball. So that's two times where we've seen Australia coming out of their end. Well, they've thrown some loose passes, looking for supporting players to move forward out of their end of the field. A bit sloppy from Australia to start this game. But New Zealand, got to take these opportunities when they present themselves. Turner, Sinclair throws it nicely on the outside, and they will get the opening points here. Hamish Fawkes goes across and scores the opening try for New Zealand, and they do take advantage of the mistakes that Australia have been making, and they get the first try on the board.
Number 16.
Teaming up there just on that sweep players, Nat Turner and Matt Sinclair. A lot of experience playing together with each other. When they push the ball back to the right-hand side, an enormous gap there, which Angus Fawkes was able to take full advantage of.
So it continues on for New Zealand. They've scored first in all three games. The results haven't gone their way. As Edwards, oh, that's an amazing job. Oh, even better over the top there from Cridlin. Wow. Razzle dazzle from the Australians. And holding on to the ball there, Malcani helps the Kiwis progress downfield.
Referees have a really, really high standard of expecting the players to give the ball back, but in a game at this pace, it's really important.
Fawkes forward. Davies. They just have to hold the ball up to try and get replacement players on the field. Kudukanga having a look at the defensive line. Morgan Puturangi holds them up and earns his team another penalty. And that's the second time that we've seen Australia give away a penalty in their 7-metre zone for not moving forward. That's New Zealand with a full set of 6. Looking to strike and go back to back. Out ball, Jones has to juggle it. Footwork, left foot, right foot. This time Norman's there. Morgan Puturangi again. Jones sweeps. Kurukanga is looking to take off from half. They step in this time with Turner. Turner takes off, plays it out the back. Nice slow defence there from Edwards. Final touch for New Zealand. They'll finish it off in the corner.
When you have so many attacking weapons for New Zealand, sometimes it's a little bit of too many chefs in the kitchen. In that situation, I think they just needed somebody to take leadership.
Norman heads over for a breather. Bimbo punches out of the interchange box. Nice little pop there. Ball, Moffat out in front, just too far. Had to have a little bit of a reach for it to Moffat. Jardel, nice little sneak play from the Australians. He was on the first touch. It's Jones feeds it, gets it back on the inside. I'm going to put it through the hands. Turner. Again, Quinn holds the ball up as Davids comes onto the field. Oh, got away from the first defender there and Sean Francis, but lost possession. Now they're trying to maybe claim that Francis made the touch first before possession was lost. And I think even Sean Francis is indicating to the referees that's exactly what happened. They've actually repeated, potentially. No, the referee was just saying time on. I thought they might have got a repeat set. Bit of space out here for Tiwi Davies. Does a beautiful job. Attract Mel Kenny to come in. And they finish it off in the corner. Back-to-back tries here for the Kiwis, and they're up 2-0.
Australia will be disappointed with that one, particularly because that came from, dead play. So all it took was one really good drive down the middle and then some excellent hands, finding some really good depth in space. Tiwi Davies handing the ball on to Trey Poihipi. 2-0 New Zealand.
NC off the restart. Adam Pride in the middle. Edwards. Russell comes around the back. Left to right. Palau. Footwork. Bang. Right foot. Tries to get in between the two. Back in the middle. Hennessy takes it. Steps in. Gets good contact on him. Edwards just manages to punch through the in-goal area. Has the touch been made? Yes, it has. Nice work. He almost held off Jack Edwards, but it was great contact there on Dylan Hennessy. Completely took him out of the play. And New Zealand get a penalty. Everything going their well. Yeah. They're all going their way at the moment.
All the momentum in the black. Let's see if they can turn this into points now.
Good meters. Kurukanga, another penalty. A little bit of physical contact. You can see the captain here, Dylan Hennessy, trying to have a chat. The on-field referee. They're frustrated at the moment, Australia. The call's not going their way. As they're stacked here on the left-hand side, TV's back on the inside. Just a bit too tight in the middle, almost punching through the same hole.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of a lateral space will be helpful on that attack play.
Edwards. Courtney from half. Nice work from Francis. As Courtney pushes it through. Hennessy gets good meters. Looks to take them on. Norman. Bit of space out here. Norman sends a beautiful ball to Palau. And Australia's first on the board. And they were just on the back foot defensively there coming into the line, New Zealand. And you can see that Hennessy could identify it. He looked to kick out, links up with Norman. Norman sends a beautiful ball out to Palau.
New Zealand doing a good job of sending defenders forward, but they got caught on the back as Australia got on the outside of them. They gave all of the space and time to Hennessy, pass on to Norman, and then a great try in the right-hand corner for Palau.
A 2-1 on the scoreboard. New Zealand still in front. Game 3 of the Trans-Tasman Test Series. Between Australia and New Zealand, Sinclair. Touch on the legs from Justin Cridland. Sinclair will look to set things up yet again. Gives it to Jones. They come up and make the touch. They get marched upfield yet again. Like you mentioned, referee's all over, returning the ball to where it needs to go. So relieving pressure and helps Australia get out of their end of the field. Edwards lateral. Now Jardel on the inside. Gets good contact. A little bit of a juggle. And we'll come back, I think, for that contact. Yeah, that is the call from Kim Skelly. Full set of 6 for the Emus. Edwards on the outside. Beautiful ball, beautiful footwork from Jardel. Even better defence from New Zealand. Yeah,
you can see on that play as well, Hamish Fuchs actually sliding away towards the right because they know that Dylan Hennessy is always a threat.
Here he is, ball in hand. It's away from one. Bob plays it. Hennessy on the run, right foot, sends a lovely ball over the top to Kenny. Getting there and making the touch. Barnett, but the ball was down first. And back-to-back tries here for Australia. And it's that man yet again, Dylan Hennessy.
Yeah, you can see New Zealand know that he's the attacking weapon. Australia took a really good touch on the left-hand side, pushed it back towards the right, sucked in the New Zealand defence, and a great right-to-left long ball. He's world-renowned for this skill. He's the best in the world at it, and he sets Australia up for another try.
So momentum shifting with the Emus. Back-to-back tries. Davids opens up for him. And Francis doesn't make the touch. So great response. Like we said, after Australia went back-to-back, New Zealand and pushed themselves back in front. And it was a great try from Davids.
Yeah, really clever try. Lance Davids, as we know, is able to get very, very low. A great position. Just a quick feed off the ground and an excellent dive, one-handed. Just how we like it. 3-2 to New Zealand.
Great reverse angle, as you can see. Davids stretching out over the line. Norman gets good contact as Hennessy punches through the middle off the fingertips there of Nat Turner. I was just going to say he's a big figure out there in the right-hand position.
He's about 8'11", so you've got to be careful when you throw the long ball his side.
Dylan plays it. They go to Cridlin. Stepping across, comes back in towards the middle of the field. Norman. And Cridlin will wrap around, gets it, loops it over the top, just didn't have enough on it to get out to James Courtney. Got some work to do, New Zealand. As you can see, Australia pushing up. Nice ball though, had to be juggled from Graham. As Morgan Pugarangi gets him going forward. Mid up to the sideline. Oh, they're in trouble here, Quinn. Yeah, couldn't get it done, couldn't get it out. It just shows when you can't get a clean set and punch forward when you're making changes around that 10-metre line and you're having to get the fresh players come around the back. It just gives an opportunity for the defensive line to come up and put that pressure on, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, exactly, and you can hear the communication coming from the sideline referee, Tony Calabria, that they can come forward when there was no half in play. So for New Zealand, they've just got to make sure normally that right winger is still in position to be able to feed that pass onwards.
Davies plays it on the 10-metre line. This is better intent here from New Zealand as Davids gets him going forward. Nice ball. Willison plays it. Felix Hotham flattened short to Willison. Good line defence from Australia. And Jardel picks the ball up and they get straight back onto it here, the Emus. Benbow on the second touch as Willison was claiming the no touch. Courtney from half. Francis, who has to be versatile tonight, playing in the link position. He has been in that position playing against Japan, but on the wing against the 2 games against New Zealand as Courtney dives into the line. He points to the spot. He seems like he's pretty confident that he's got this ball down, and that's the reason why. That is a fantastic finish from James Courtney, making his debut against New Zealand. Has only played against Japan so far in the series, and shows why he's been represented in the green and gold with a finish like that.
Again with their second try, same with the third. Hard yards up the middle, fast hands towards the left-hand side, and a great finish there by Courtney.
Back locked up at 3 tries apiece. Barnett sends it back infield as Jones sweeps, gets it. Just loses his footing, but now they put it through the hands, out the fin. Great footwork coming off the left foot. Even better touch there from Palau. Kurukanga will play it. Jones sweeps, punches through, late at the line, picked off from Moffat. Penalty here to New Zealand.
Looks like Peter Norman just leaving a little bit early. It's important for Australia to apply that pressure. Just be careful not to take off too soon.
Hayden Moffat on screen. As New Zealand take the opportunity. Get a couple of fresh players back out onto the park. Kurukanga into the line. Sinclair punches through the middle, sends it out nice and early to Poihipi. Just loses his feet at the contact with Mal Kenny. Back to the midfield. As Graham puts it out the back. Beautiful ball, Tiwi Davies out to Trey Poihipi. That is a lovely try from New Zealand. Well constructed and finished off nicely by Poihipi in the corner.
Wonderful play. A full team effort here. Obviously the ball's been travelling from the left to the right. But what's really helpful here is that movement towards the middle, off the left foot step from Graham. Tiwi Davies, Trey Poihipi, that Waikato connection coming through there big time for New Zealand.
Back up by 1. New Zealand 4-3. Hennessy skipping. And Legion makes the touch. Bob holds it up. Dylan looks right, looks left. Barnett's over there to make the touch and put pressure on Courtney this time around. New Zealand with Turner, struggling to punch forward on the first two. Davids grits the teeth. Davies, he's been good so far here in the first half, but they found a mistake in the midfield. Over the mark is the call. So Australia will tap and restart. Just shy of the halfway line. And Bob feeds it to Benbow. There's Moffat. Ooh, just a little bit of a lazy play there from the Australians. Comes off the fingertips there of Jardel Bob. Corey Russell comes up and makes the touch. With Graham on the 10-metre line. E4 plays it on the Bristol Paints logo. Forks. Nice clean play of the ball. Kurukanga out the back. Davids. Oh, just didn't come out of the hands cleanly.
The setup was really good. It was just that last pass from Davids. Just didn't quite go to hand.
Russell shows it on the inside. He's carrying a knee injury into this game as well. As Adam Pride gets him going central. They're going to come back to the halfway line for an interchange infringement. Referee Calabria indicating that was the case.
And New Zealand just taking their time, catching the breath, coming back up to halfway, but it looks like we've got another penalty advanced. Perhaps a little words or opinions shared from Australia?
Well, we saw that a couple of times in Game 2 last night, didn't we, Harley? Where a couple of things didn't go their way. Got a little bit frustrated. It didn't end up causing too much effect for them in terms of the overall result of the game. Sinclair, nice ball. Turner comes back and plays it on the 7-metre line. Nice touch from Norman. Sinclair yet again injecting himself heavily in this game. Ooh, Francis had to get hands on the ball. Another penalty's been given away, though, from Australia.
Francis having to do a lot of work coming out of the link. Had he not shut that one down, I think New Zealand would have scored their 5th try.
David's dancing. Ball in one hand. Another penalty. Where are we up to here in the 7-metre zone? That's at least a second. And I think that has been indicated by Dave Baggio. Neither Graham. In from half. Only ball, Sinclair receives it back and pump it. In come heads here, the Touch Blacks. The defence is pretty strong as well from Australia so far. Graham holds it. Norman comes up to make the touch. Sinclair and Graham working in the middle here for New Zealand. Picks up and goes mid up, left foot. Oh, beautiful ball. Gets it behind the back of Peter Norman. And that is a lovely play between two of the veterans of this New Zealand team. That's great experience. Now, I'm just interested to see what might be happening here, because as soon as the try was awarded, Dave Baggio pulled things up and he's gone straight over to Dylan Hennessy and is having a chat. So the halftime hasn't been officially pulled to a close as of yet, I don't believe. There's plenty of conversations going on in the middle at the moment between the Australians and the referees. And it's Pete Norman now being called out. You can see on field the referees, so I don't think Norman was too happy with the call. A victory here in the Trans-Tasman Series. Work to do for the Australians. Overall, mate, it's been a fantastic tournament. Obviously, results haven't gone the way that New Zealand would have liked, but like we've made mention throughout the week, it's just great to have international footy back on the calendar. And
New Zealand can take a lot of positives out of this event, even though we haven't been able to secure any wins in the series have already been secured by Australia. Huge positives heading into the World Cup next year.
Australia off the restart. Justin Cridlin. Norman in the half. Edwards feeds it back to Norman. Norman gets on the outside, but a great touch there from Turner. Norman will step in field. Here he goes again. Early possessions here for Norman, and they can't bat it on and play, but a late penalty deep in the touch count. Given away from New Zealand. Those ones hurt. Again, when you see Australia turn the ball over, when they didn't really have much attacking options coming into the last play of the set, touch and pass penalty, wow. Things just really still not going the way that you don't see that happen very often.
Nah, a rare penalty, a rare unravelling moment for Australia, and New Zealand will take full advantage of this now.
Sinclair plays it smack on the halfway line as Tiwi Davies makes his way onto the field. Boy Hippie from half. Kudukanga plays it. Davies picks it up nicely, sends it out. Palau's there to answer it. Positive play, though, from New Zealand.
Yeah, they're really making Australia work for every touch and every pass that they make.
Contact on Palau.
Yeah, some great contact here up in the middle of the field.
As Francis finds himself midfield. Russell pops out Moffat. Moffat's got the 2-on-1. Courtney with work to do. And the touch has been made. Great scramble defence from New Zealand. Moffat, left foot, right foot, switches late at the line. Russell earns himself and his team a repeat set on the fifth play.
Can't ever afford to be caught flat-footed on the fifth touch. Trey Poihipi saving New Zealand there.
Russell, Moffat loses his footing, still manages to get the ball away to Corey. Quite the combination, Moffat and Russell in the middle. Here they go again. Moffat back on the inside, just had to reach for it momentarily there, but it wasn't to stop the Australians from getting over. And just touched on the combination that Moffat and Russell have, and had some work to do there. Corey Russell did a great job to reel it in and get it on the paint.
Yeah, he did. It sounded like from the communication from the referee that Daniel Milgram-Putalanga was just offside there. So it looked like the touch was made, but just not quite in the right position there.
You can see the replay in the reverse angle. Moffat and Russell working together. Nice little inside ball. Which will revert back to the live action. Jones plays it on the 7 metre line. Willison having a look at the defensive line. This ball out the back, doesn't hit a target. Felix Hotham sending that one out as Australia restart their set. Norman, early ball out to Edwards. Courtney, that's a touch down the left-hand side of the field. They're making metres on New Zealand's side as they come now through the middle with Cridlin. Norman through the middle as Hennessy picks it up, gets away from one, gets into the in-goal area, bit of contact off the ball. What's the call here? Repeat set here for Australia.
Yeah, repeat set. They gave Dylan Hennessy the space, knowing that they had to then play a man on defence just to take away his options. A recount was the result there as New Zealand get penalised here for not moving forward. Tap
from Jardel Bob. CQ Bulls teammate Bembo with him in the middle. Bob putting on the footwork this time. The touch is just there, E4 Jones. Well, we've seen his attacking prowess, but coming across and making a try-saving touch there for the Kiwis. Out the back, Bob tries to take him on again. And this time Willison makes the touch. Hennessy back to Bob. They play it. They send Bob back infield. Comes off the right foot. Can't get away. Good defence from New Zealand defending their line. And they'll get marched upfield again.
The effort and intensity being led there by Nat Turner and Rocky Willison is really a key difference maker for New Zealand.
Davids. Ever energetic coming out of the box. As is Fawkes. Nice work Sinclair. Plays out the back. Davies. It's gone forward out of the hands.
Great pressure applied there from Malcolm Kenny. He had to leave his wing, but enough pressure was applied to Tiwi Davies to force that ball forward.
Bembo, good metres over the halfway line. Francis follows suit. Corey Russell scored the last try for Australia. Can't connect up with Adam Pride. Sinclair feeds it to Davids. Courtney comes up to make the touch. Poi Hippie down the sideline. Mid Graham pumps it, links up with Kudukanga as Graham picks up. Russell must have just been onside to make the touch. Here he goes on the first touch as well.
It feels like the pace of the game has actually lifted again. So the referee's having to work overtime to make sure that the players are getting all the way back onside.
It's Kenny has to feed it from half while the changes still make their way onto the field for Australia. Nothing on the left-hand side. As Hennessy puts it through the hands, and Kenny will return possession here to New Zealand. Turner from the play the ball. Morgan Putaranga on the first touch. Turner feeds it to Graham. Quinn down the sideline. Good metres as they get towards the halfway line. Legion back on the inside to Willison. Legion picks up. He's got toe. We know that. Kenny again comes in off his wing. Penalty here to New Zealand. They were calling for it from the box. They feel like Australia, they're short in that 7 metre.
In that situation, the referee's focus is always on the ball and those players surrounding it, but there was support there from the sideline referee that Malcolm Kenny had left his sideline early to put pressure on the link, hence why the pass went to ground. But being in an offside position, New Zealand get the penalty for it.
Sinclair out the back. E4 Jones, footwork. Oh, Courtney. It was Palau, my apologies. Had to come in and play at the ball. And if he doesn't, New Zealand score. Fawkes back out onto the field as they go through the hands. E4 flat from the ruck. Throws it late at the line, and it was more than flat, unfortunately. It's forward. Just got to get your timing right on those ones. One step further back, they go over for another try.
Yeah, we've spoken about depth in all the games tonight and how important it is at this level. Tiwi Davies taking a little bit of a tumble after that try, or attempted try, so we have to keep an eye on him on that right shoulder.
And a relieving penalty here for Australia. Matt Sinclair having a chat with Dave Baggio in the midfield. Clarification on that call. Jado Bell. Oh, he's lost that. No, must have been played at. Indicating that there was a bit of a leg involved in the play of the ball. Saw the football just spew out of the ruck. Moffat, Bob comes against the grain. Nice play the ball there from Bembo. Bob just throws it out, hoping it can connect up. Another penalty here to Australia. The pressure mounting for New Zealand. Bembo plays it. Edwards takes him on himself, goes right to the line, attracts the New Zealand defence, and Jaden Bembo goes across for a try for Australia, and they level up on the scoreboard.
Being off the back of 2 penalties, New Zealand had to really be careful about not leaving the line too early. And if you have a look there, Lance Davis just gets caught too flat-footed, didn't lift off the line early enough, and created enough space for Bimbo to score that try.
It was great work from Edwards, like we said, just taking off. Beautiful ball. Nice work from Jaden Bimbo. Kurukanga up with Morton Purarangi. Turner sweeps, gets it. Goes to go back inside. Nice phase play. Oh, Turner. There's a bit of a collision in the middle of the field here. They continue to play on at the moment. Turner out the back. And yes, beautiful support. The captain, Mitter Graham. You feel like the referees might come together for a little bit. The only reason they do is to say try time. They point to the spot. Great work, Turner.
An interesting aspect for this game is obviously we've got an increased physicality. At some point, those collisions are going to end up being given as a play on, and this is exactly what we've got. Now, Turner given all the space and time in the world, and then he links up with his captain, Mitter Graham. New Zealand 6 points to 5.
Touch Blacks try, number 2, Mitter Graham.
Continuing to put pressure on the Australians. New Zealand, again, we see another player down on the deck, and this time it will be a penalty to them. Adam Pride was the one that went down, indicating there might have been some hands on him. Australia with a full set. Moffat and Russell again. Touch is made. Adam Pride. Edwards from half. Russell left to right. Beautiful ball, and Courtney flies through the air. What a finish. Well, we saw him in the first half with a classy finish. Gee whiz, that one might have just topped it.
Unbelievable that this is his debut against New Zealand tonight. The athleticism that he shows on that right-hand wing is unbelievable. We'll have a look at this try here. Jack Edwards is having an absolute blinder tonight for Australia, and he just gets there right on time. Trey Poihipi just off-timed, and Australia straight back.
Locked up at 6 tries apiece. New Zealand just can't get away from the Aussies. Sinclair out to Barnett, pops it back on the inside. Davies is coming back on support. And the pop ball back on the inside. Plough, after a little false start, makes the tap. There's space as he turns it back on the inside to Francis. Norman grits the teeth, gets the Australians into New Zealand's end of the field. Cridlin switches in. Hennessy from half. Early ball. Cridlin on the run, but they'll come back. Poihipi, who's streaking away with the ball, but there was an infringement prior to the ball being thrown. Again, Dylan Hennessy asking for clarification. Fuchs on the first touch. As Australia try to put pressure on and done a pretty good job on the first 2 touches. Turner. And Jones out of the box. Try scorer Mitter Graham. Has a look. Jones gets it back from Graham. Nice flick ball. Kurukanga. Palau coming from his wing to force a mistake. Exciting play there from New Zealand.
Yeah, enterprising play, but it did come out of nothing. New Zealand were struggling to get through the field and to the end of the field where they want to play from. They'll need to get there a little bit earlier to get a really nice platform to set up from.
Benbow, great meters going forward. Francis gets away from one. They come back. Morgan Putarangi. He got beaten the first time from Francis. It was a good job to come back and make the touch. Pride. Hennessy pops it, scoops it with one hand, and the touch is made on Russell. New Zealand on the run with Turner. Francis looked short, and he was very short.
A bit of banter between the teams. Some of them have been playing against each other for up to 10 years.
Felix Hotham, good meters. Here he is, ball in hand again. It's been good for New Zealand. Mikey Willison plays it. Lance Davids, footwork and gets it down. No, he's lost it over the line. Oh, it might have just been short of the line. And you can see that the grass is just starting to get a little bit scuffed up the amount of games that we've had here on the main field, and it just dug into the grass as he was looking to push that over the line. That could be a big moment in the game.
Yeah, that one really hurts New Zealand.
And this hurts as well.
As does another penalty. It looks like an offside call against Trey Poihipi, just quite not onside there. But finishing, so vital, especially at this level. So Lance Davids will want to take that one back and have another go at it.
Cridlin receives the ball back from Dill. It's Edwards in from half. Here he goes again, pushing it through to Cridlin. He tries to get the ball out, hits the deck. Poihipi will take the first touch, turns it back on the inside to Davies. Good momentum going forward. Davids. They come down the sideline. Fiddleton just got the ball away. Sinclair. Turner. Needs to clean play the ball. Fifth and final. Sinclair, early ball. Jones, they're on the back foot. Takes it to the line and Fawkes gets it over. New Zealand. They're back in front. Beautiful try from the Kiwis.
Looking forward to seeing this replay, but of course it wasn't just about that last pass from E4 Jones. It was a whole team effort, getting right up the end of the field, getting enough space, holding lines, and that great pass there. Just well timed from E4 Jones onto Hamish Fawkes. And another error we can see here from Australia, some uncharacteristic errors coming in just when they need to be focused.
And penalty. As we see that Turner. He's just down on the deck at the moment. Clutching at the ankle. Referees will call timeout.
Yeah, Nat Turner's been a real leader for New Zealand. We've spoken about him defensively on the end. He's such a tall player. He can really get in the lane. He can really make those hard lunging touches. So if this is an injury to him that will take him out for the rest of the game, that's going to really hurt New Zealand.
This gives both teams just a second just to catch their breath, just regroup.
And for us as well.
Absolutely. After the last two games these teams are putting us through, my goodness.
Need a well-being check.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. We're back underway at Sinclair. It's advantage New Zealand so far. On the scoreboard, up by 1. If they can stretch here, can they go by 2? Beautiful ball from Graham Poihipi. Punching a lovely line from outside in. And New Zealand go up by 2. That could be a huge play for them.
These are the tries that you see online on 7th Touch afterwards. This is an incredible try. You can see Trey Poihipi leaving his link hole and actually chopping inside in between the two inside players. And another error from Australia. They're starting to fall apart. The focus has gone elsewhere. And New Zealand are in complete control momentum-wise in this game.
Tiwi Davies. Graham's back out on the field. He'll keep them calm and composed. Morgan Puturangi receives it back. Right foot. Tiwi Davies feeds it out the back. Puturangi. Oh, Kurakanga, my apologies. Almost feeding it through. They had to get hands on the ball. Jonathan Palau. Klopp starting to become a factor. We'll keep an eye on that as Graham puts it through the hands to Quinn. Full set to work with here for New Zealand. Can they finish this one off? Nice inside ball. Oh, Edwards had to make the touch. And does.
Yeah, vital touch there from Edwards. Australia under all sorts of pressure. New Zealand using the full width of the field here.
Graham short. Can't connect up. Have they got the legs left? The Aussies. They need to score next. A little juggle there from Dylan. Out the back. Having to reach for it was Mal Kenny. Cridlin feeds it to Kenny. Space available. They were making changes as Kenny was coming down the left-hand sideline. Back in field. Francis links up with Norman. Moffat now plays it. Norman, almost a similar play to what we saw earlier on from those two. And they link up nicely. Moffat and Norman. And Australia, they are still in this game.
I never say die attitude. It doesn't matter that there were a couple of errors. leading into this phase of play. Australia are able to strike back 8-7. Still anyone's game as the clock starts to wind down.
Yeah, 60 seconds left in this game. New Zealand, they can't afford to come up with an error in this possession as we see E4 Jones take a little stumble. Willison. Jones again. Still on the run as E4 takes the touch. Norman. Tiwi Davies. Ball in hand. Sinclair picks it up, has a look, goes short. Australia, one last possession for them. They're going to have to go the full distance to make it happen. Can they lock it up? We surely can't go to extra time. 2 games in a row. Cridlin over the halfway line. They're making meters pretty easily so far here, Australia. New Zealand, they can't afford to hold. They're on the back foot. Just getting it down. Moffat, Kenny, does he get it? Loses it over the line. It was there. They've got to hold the football, New Zealand. They're trying to wind down the clock. Sinclair gets it done, and New Zealand win Game 3 of the Trans-Tasman Test Series in the Men's Open. What a deserved victory for New Zealand. But Australia, they made them work, and they almost got it into extra time yet again, right at the death. What a game.
Just like last night's, this one went right down to the wire. Millimetres, seconds is the difference in this game. And full credit to New Zealand. A well-deserved victory over Australia tonight. Of course, we can't discredit the amount of effort and the amount of work that have gone into the Australian campaign. Of course, still series champions.